Enos will return next Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock, 7 Central and Mountain Time on most of these stations.
Word Balloon is brought to you by the League of Word Balloon Listeners. Coming February 21st, it's Faye and the Moon, the latest graphic novel from Franco and the Saturn Sisters. Faye, mourning for her missing mother, sits night after night below the moon that her mother loved dearly. One night she discovers she can pluck the moon out of the star-filled sky. Back safe in her house, she holds it close, feeling comfort at last. Then Faye loses the moon and finds that taking it has awakened ancient monsters, rats, dragons, and more, who hunt for it for themselves. Will Faye be able to reclaim the moon, find her own inner strength, and save the world from eternal darkness? Faye and the Moon comes from the minds of Franco, whose works include Tiny Titans, Superman of Smallville, Archimaniacs, Itty Bitty Hellboy, and The Ghost and the Owl, and art from the Saturn Sisters, whose animated works include Sesame Studios' The New Neighbors, Hulu's The Awesomes by Seth Meyers, and PBS's Mira, Selkie from the Sea. Pre-order Faye and the Moon now. Available in bookstores and comic shops everywhere, February 21st.
This portrait of Jean Grey, the Phoenix, is one of the ones I did for a series of single frame mock-up kind of covers for the Marvelocity book, where my concept was it would work like an accordion. When you open up the book, getting past the initial Captain America cover, you would fold it out and you get Iron Man and character after character after character, and it allowed me then to do multiple Marvel character portraits. Phoenix being one of the most primary Marvel concepts, because her storyline back in 1980, the invention of that character, that maturation of Jean Grey into the Phoenix, was one of the best storylines in the history of comics and stands out as one of the most important female superheroes.
Welcome back, everybody. Time again for Word Balloon, the comic book conversation show, the Trek Watch. Oh, yeah, Trek Watch. John Sutter's here, Franco here, Mitch here, Wayne is here. Mitch, you got a nice Silver Age Superman comic there.
Yes, when the body shaming was fun. See? Super fat, 2-ton Superman.
That's true. That's a good point.
So, anyway.
Hilarious.
I saw that today and it screamed at me. It said, buy me.
I don't blame you. So we're going to talk about, I don't know, did we not talk about episode 5? But we'll talk certainly about episode 6 of Star Trek Picard. We can talk about both, because I also think that things that happened in 5, I was surprised didn't resonate in episode 6. But again, so far, 6 for 6, I'm still enjoying the show very much. So, oh, that's funny. Ronnie says, I never watched Star Trek till listening to Word Balloon. Now I love it. Have 50 years of content to watch. You sure do, man.
Wow.
Oh, I want to be like Ronnie now.
Yeah. Skip over those Discovery episodes, then, I guess. Or Lower Decks, season 1 and 2. We'll save you the time.
Plenty of other episodes to focus on and stuff. So
focus on the Orville.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. much like I know Franco's in the disagreement, but much like Galaxy Quest, the best Star Trek that wasn't Star Trek.
You see, Galaxy Quest I like, so yeah.
No worries. Langley already, and out of the box. I'm glad you mentioned this, Langley. He loves seeing Ensign Rowe again, although Commander Rowe, one of my favorite characters I thought I would never see again. Yeah, Michelle Forbes, that was great that she came back.
We did that. We did not talk about that.
We were all away last week, so that's why I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, talk about what else? Okay, Rolaren showed up. She told us about the plot that was going into Starfleet.
We learned more about Jack we saw more visions. Of Jack's visions, and we learned in episode 6 he has Irumodic syndrome, much like his father.
Mm-hmm.
Although we still don't know, like, I have a suspicion, and I'll let you guys. Do you guys have a suspicion of who the voice is that Jack is hearing in his head?
No.
Is Emperor Palpatine?
Wayne?
I'm thinking it's the Great Link.
Well,
I'm pushing an even deeper conspiracy that he might be changeling.
oh yeah, I think so too. No, and honestly, I think it's Amanda Plummer. Vatic. I think it's Vatic that year's saying.
Why would she be trying to get him back if
don't? Well, we don't know, and we'll find out.
I think he got replaced when he was in London studying whatever. Because this sounds like this conspiracy that the changelings have with Starfleet has been a long time for them to get into the different echelons of power, and it's throughout the fleet. It's not just at Starfleet headquarters; it's on the starships themselves.
Oh yeah.
So this could be a long game, especially with what we find out. What else was taken at Daystrom Station in episode 6?
A little bit off topic, if I may. I don't know if any of you guys saw the rumor about the new Trek series that they're developing about the Dominion War. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So I saw that online, and I'm wondering if it has to do with how well this season of Picard is being, received, and how everybody loves Deep Space Nine and everything. And I'm wondering if that's kind of generating this Dominion War kind of series.
Are they talking about doing going back to the original Dominion War and showing different aspects of it? Yeah. Is that what? Tell me about this show, because all I heard was Star Trek Legacy. People are suggesting that title, and obviously having young LaForge and Jack Crusher and others maybe in the show. And it's Captain Shaw.
It was on Giant Freaking Robot, so take it for a grain of salt.
Read it, Mitchell.
Yeah, it was in the Terrificon group page. Star Trek is returning to its most explosive conflict, according to our trusted and proven sources. Star Trek Dominion War series is in development at Paramount. Assuming it clears all the necessary hurdles, Dominion War will be filmed as a limited series rather than the war itself, and it will focus on the war's aftermath and how it impacted the Alpha Quadrant. No doubt in its part of comparative popularity of the third and final season of Star Trek Picard, which is leading to a renewed interest in the Dominion War. The conflict originally opened on, Deep Space Nine, blah, 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 blah. And the shape-shifting founders known as the Changelings have proven to be the chief antagonists in Picard. We don't know. It's all speculation here. It said we could finally get the return of Avery Brooks. That ain't gonna happen.
Dream on.
Yeah, and Kate Mulgrew. Yeah, this is all fan speculation stuff.
And that's fine. Listen, everybody's speculating, which is great. That means they're talking about it. That means we give a shit about what's happening, as opposed to the previous 5 years of new Star Trek.
Yeah. They may not. Yeah, they may do it. They may not get Avery Brooks, but they may get someone else because they seem to replacing all these other characters with the new actors.
Ironback.
I always said, and I always forget the name of the actor. The guy who does the Allstate commercials and was the president on 24, and he's Serrano, the Cuban home run hitter in Major League.
Yeah.
I'm like, if Avery Brooks doesn't want to come back, get that guy to be Ben Sisko.
David with an H.
Barbara.
David Herbert.
Hershey. David Hershey. Barbara Hershey. Herbert.
Okay. All right. That's his name. I didn't remember that was his. Dennis Haybird. Yes. Langley. Thank you, Langley. Yes. I was like, it's not David. It's definitely Dennis. No, I love that guy. I
love this game show we play where we try to
exactly. We can't remember anything. Hey, for all the fan service that this season is doing, which is fantastic, which I love it. I don't mind it at all. Especially this last episode when they went to the Fleet Museum. I was freaking good. Oh, look, there's this. Oh, look, there's the ship. And all of it was fun. It was like going in a toy box. If you weren't familiar with it, and I have somebody who just started watching Picard, my friend in Australia just finished season 1. He's starting season 2. I said, that's good, because when you get to season 3, none of that shit matters. And he was like, what are you talking about? I go, other than the positronic Picard, there's nothing. And here's the one thing. The Riker relationship with Troy in season 1, and now it's strained in season 3. did something really happen? Because it's like two different Rikers and Troys. I'm like, wait, I thought they were happily married making pizza on a pizza
Their
plane.
relationship has always been like this.
Yeah, but
even
now it's
throughout the
like, I don't
series.
talk to her. I
Yeah.
got to get away from her. I'm
Yeah,
like, what happened?
I agree, Mitch.
Something happened. A couple of years have passed between
Yeah, but
seasons.
Yes.
why wasn't the death of his son bothering him in season 1 the way that he's like ever since we put him in the ground? This
Because he was making pizza.
He was making pizza.
That's how he was coping.
And honestly, I know most of the new fans love Kestra, their daughter.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry, I'm not feeling it for Kestra. So, Jared wants to know, has Avery Brooks indicated that he doesn't want to come back?
I don't think he can physically, right?
And yeah, I think as Langley says, I think it's more that Avery Brooks is content to leave Cisco alone where things ended. And you can't blame him. And, Michelle Forbes didn't want to obviously continue with Deep Space Nine. That was the original intent, with Ro being there instead of Major Kira. Good news, we got a completely different character and actor who also put her imprint on Trek, and I love
her name, Nana Visitor.
Yeah, I love Nana Visitor. She's great. She's amazing.
So I always thought Ro Laren was supposed to go on to Voyager and the Maquis. That's what I remember at one point, that she was going to be part of the.
Well, and you got to remember though, Mitch, that was several years after, whereas Deep Space Nine was kind of conceived near the end of Next Gen and everything.
Yeah.
But no, she went on. She made movies in the 90s, and Commander Admiral Kane in Galactica.
Oh, Berlin Station. She's amazing as the CIA head of station.
Yep, agreed. Absolutely. So
in that vampire show.
Here's the thing that bothered me about this week. Now, obviously, we get Raffi and Worf back now with the core group, and now we got Geordi. That's great, and Geordi's second daughter. So we have both of Geordi's daughters, and that's his real daughter. That's
Geordi been busy. Yeah.
But what I didn't understand was, I really felt like, and again, sorry, small nitpick, the waste of time in episode 6 of, well, I'm not going to join you. I got to protect my daughters, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we already know from the trailer that Geordi is going to be part of the solution. So that's adorable, but you really are wasting our time. And further, how come they never said, Geordi, Ro gave her life for this mission? And because Geordi and Ro are friends. Ro had very few people that she was connecting with on the Enterprise. Remember the episode where they thought they were both dead?
Yeah.
I mean, so no, I really think Ro and Geordi are friends, and that really would have hit him if they would have just thrown that in. And literally, you're talking about like one line, like Geordi, Ro knows that something's going on, and it would have been more plausible too if Geordi just didn't believe in this conspiracy. And it's just like, hey, we got a lot of doubts. You're coming to us with a bunch of suspicions, but you have no proof.
But there's things like that happen in every episode. The last episode, I remember Ro showing up, and Picard is shocked. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, isn't he an admiral in Starfleet for the longest time? How did he not know that she was back?
Because she was in the security area, so they probably don't advertise.
Bullshit. But how do you not hear? How do you not hear that she's back? You know,
she
was in Section 31. She was undercover.
Don't forget Section 31.
Don't forget when they were coming up with their story for Shaw, that he's like, yes, and will be reviewed at Deep Space 4. And it's like, really? Deep Space 4's commission? And it's like, it kind of shows that Picard's out of the loop. I don't know, man. I hear what you're saying.
He was stuck on his winery, pulling the wine, pulling the grapes, stomping the grapes,
exactly,
drinking the grapes,
making the what did Worf call it? The sour mead.
I know, no, everyone's shitting on Chateau Picard. That's awesome. Shaw doesn't want it. Worf is like sour mead. Hilarious.
Dude, was that a fake out with whole Moriarty? I really thought he was going to be the big villain for the whole thing. It was like you sneeze and you missed him.
I'm so angry, Mitch. I'm glad you brought that up. I would have brought it up.
I thought it was great.
But I thought it was going to be more in it.
Yes, I did too. I really felt like, and again, shame on us because I guess Daniel Davis said he only shot for like a day and a half. But to put that in the trailer and for it to be as insignificant as it was really like jerking the rug.
Nothing going on over here. Look this way. Nothing going on over here.
They really built it up that this is a very sophisticated AI.
Yeah.
That's protecting the station, and then when you see Moriarty and going, of course it makes sense.
Yeah. No, it really bothered me. Mike also pointing out Geordi and Rose relationship in the next phase. Oops, not that one. Yeah. Okay. I'm making sure all of a sudden I'm not reading the thing. I'm like,
no. What was else? What about all the Easter eggs? That was fun. The whole Kirk's body's there, and then the Genesis. Because I always thought, why didn't they ever make another one of those after Star Trek 2? It's like if you could take planets and reform them, just fix that shit.
Yeah, but it didn't work. They needed.
I know, but this was Genesis 2. It said.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, that's the one with Phil. That's the one Phil Collins instead of Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But no,
that's what you did.
My friend Rob,
my own two eyes.
My friend Rob Hart mentioned. He goes, Genesis 2. He goes, that's a nod to Gene Roddenberry, one of his failed pilots from the 70s.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, I suppose. I go, but really, no, it's just another edition of the Genesis torpedo. I liked when, and of course we'll talk about Data. I appreciate the Data solution. However, as Picard said, I've already seen him die twice. I'm like, yeah, so have we.
We all.
It's getting kind of old. So
I like how he's just chubby and gray hair now. He's like, I ain't putting that gold shit on my face again.
But I'm okay with the solution of that. And also I was very confused, but Alton Sung, I'm like, because I kept hearing that maybe that was Noonien Sung's or whatever. You always get it confused with Khan's name, but that that he was Data's brother. And I'm like, okay, no, I finally saw confirmation. It's Data's brother. It's not Sung, who created the androids and stuff. It's not his brother. It's not Data's uncle. It's Data's actual human brother. Who he was, introduced in season 1 of Picard. But I think this is going to be a fun opportunity for Brent Spiner to switch gears.
Multiple personalities.
Yeah,
I love that idea.
Sometimes be Data, be 4. I don't want him to be Lal, but if he's going to be Lal, it could happen. Who knows?
I think it's a great solution. I mean, what a great way to bring all those characters into one and then not have him, because I know he went on record not wanting to have the makeup on anymore and everything. That's great. I think it works out perfectly.
Yeah. And essentially you're right, Weez, that the AI was Data, and even Moriarty, you could say, was an echo of Data's programming. No, God, when he they really could have played that moment up so much more when he looks at Geordi. And it's like, I think most of us as fans really filled in the emotion, because I watched it a couple of times, and it's like, there is that like slight moment, but it isn't as big as like, hey man, look, Geordi, it's your best friend that you thought died, 20 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
But and I loved it. I'm glad he was there. I think it's a good solution. I really do.
I was bugged that he kept calling him Jean-Luc. I'm like, really? See, I would always have thought they would always call him Captain. You know what I mean? Even like Sulu, you never heard Sulu or Chekhov calling him Jim. There was always Captain, no matter what rank he had. It's like, But
it was only McCoy and Spock called him Jim.
But only Spock did and McCoy. But
when they were asking him what they took, and he was saying they took Jean-Luc.
Well, who are you talking about, Mitch?
I'm talking about Geordi. When Geordi first saw,
that's what I thought you were. Yeah, he's not talking about Data, Francis.
Sorry.
No. I'm talking about Geordi was too familiar with him. Like Jean-Luc.
Well, no, but he's a Commodore. Like he feels he's up there in ranks.
Yeah. Well,
you don't know how the Commodore Admiral thing sort of works out.
And Riker's calling him Jean-Luc all the time too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm okay with it.
I like Riker's throwaway line. Like, what did he say? I don't understand the world anymore.
Yeah. Reacting to Worf. Yes. Yeah. No, seriously, I hope Frakes gets an Emmy nomination, because he is so killing it, and they are giving him so much fun shit to say and do. Mm-hmm. Although, and hey, I'm the first one that is anti-ageism. But all right, we need a mission to infiltrate Section 31's high thing. All right, let's see. We got Raffi and we got the 270-year-olds. Sounds great. Okay. And again, Worf is very capable, obviously, still in the shape. And I love Will Riker, and I'm thrilled to see him in action. But he's the one who, and it was the great line in that first episode where he's like, great, my knees hurt and your hands are stiff, and we're about to try and shoot something. Good luck. And it's true. It's like, come on, man, they're old men. But I don't know who you send. I would have said maybe Jack and
No, Jack's got all those like things going on. So is Worf going to go full out crazy towards the end? You think he's just holding back? Like, I'm a pacifist. This is the new me, and then he's going to go fucking nuts. I'm like,
you already cut off
like a Shaolin monk.
Yeah, I think
he tears everyone apart.
He's got focus. That's his whole thing. Is he's more focused in his skills, and that's the path that he's taken since
he's
day
like Billy
one.
Jack.
He's like John Wick.
He's like Billy Jack.
He's like Billy Jack. Tom
He's
Loughlin.
John Wick. He's focused. He will get revenge for his.
Somebody killed his Targ, and he went nuts. He got that little dog, and they fucking killed it.
You know, all these past years of Discovery and everything else, I really did feel like going into this season that they were going to fall into the old character tropes with all these guys, and I love that they've really advanced them, and there's been space and time, and they all have different things going on. I love this season. I really do.
Yep. I actually look forward to it on Thursdays, where I used to dread Discovery when we had a review. And I'm like, oh my God, no. Or Lower Decks. I'm like, oh, good, it's Thursday. I can get up early and watch Picard.
It was like a weekly dentist appointment. I so agree with you guys.
Oh my God, yeah.
Langley's right. His hope is that Terry Metalis is trying to make the dumb decisions of seasons 1 and 2 work this season, like the dumb synth Picard body, Data, etc. I hear you, man, and I hope so too. I wonder why do we think the changelings want Jean-Luc's old body?
Because he's got some kind of Borg technology, and they're going to go.
They're going to take over the
Borg. They want to take over the whole
as well. That's my suspicion as well.
They want to go.
It has to do with Locutus. One of the reasons why I think, from a storytelling standpoint, they had Captain Shaw bring up Wolf 359 and everything. So I'm expecting. You know, I'm
thinking they want to infiltrate all the technology, like become like a V'ger thing and take over the entire fucking Federation. Not just
because Vatic says she wants this quiet, the silence when she was on her bridge.
Yes. I also don't understand what happened to no changeling will kill another changeling. Because, man, she's wiping out. If those things are also changelings, which I sort of believe they are, she's like wiping them out left and right.
You do it the first time, it gets easier after that.
Shut up.
So
they're also they're supposed to be like a renegade splinter cell of the changeling. So why should they follow their rules?
I think but that's almost like, again, I was rewatching from season 6, the very beginning of season 6, when the Cardassians retake DS9, and you know, Cisco's working with the Admiral Ross and all that stuff, and the female changeling tells Odo, he's trying to figure out just what they're all about, and he's like, you know, are there many of us? Like, whatever. And he's like, well, what happens when you go back to the link? And she's like, the drop becomes part of the ocean. And he goes, and then what happens with the human form? The ocean becomes the drop. He's like, so is your, you know, are you separate from the link? Are you a sentient being on your own? And she's like, well, kind of in a way or whatever. And with that in mind, that's where this confusion for me happens. And again, it's a small nitpick. If they just want to change it, oh, well, here we are. You know, there's always inconsistencies when they come back to plot lines. It's okay. And yeah, you're right, Langley. Odo was the first to kill another changeling, and they punished him by taking away his ability to shapeshift.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Hey, do you think they're making a pilot right in front of our eyes and we don't realize it?
Sure.
They could have a show.
Oh yeah,
with Picard's son, Geordi's daughter, one of them.
Yeah.
Captain
and
Shaw.
You can have 7 of 9 command. You can have Captain Shaw, and it could always be like the younger next generation or something. You know.
Well,
I wouldn't mind it.
Before getting the report from Giant Freaking Robot, the persistent rumor that I heard was that they're building like a Star Trek legacy. And no, Metalis even has said that he is planting seeds that if they want to continue these storylines. So of course. No, and I think that's great. I would much rather see that with all this giant group than just a 7 Raffi TV show.
Oh yeah.
Which is something that, you know, wouldn't that be great? And I'm like, no, it would not be great. I'm like, sorry, no, it wouldn't. And by the way, I'm sorry. I still can't stand Raffi. She still bugs the hell out of me. I mean, this is the most tolerant I've been of her in the 3 seasons.
Mhm.
But I don't know. She's
nice in person, John. She's a lovely.
Is she really?
No, I was going to say
Okay, that's cool.
No,
I love the Worf line about lovers going into combat. Oh, good. I was just practicing deception.
That happened to me. No, all the new characters like Shaw, I like Geordie's daughter.
Yeah.
But Rafi, for 3 years, you think she would have grown on you, but she's still, maybe it's just her acting style. I don't know. It doesn't blend in. It's more soap opera-y than the rest of the crew.
I think Langley's right. Rafi is written terribly. Further, I think she's directed terribly. I was rewatching when the Changelings trashed the Starfleet recruitment place with the portal weapon, and literally she's like trembling with anger, and I'm like, tone it down. I know this is a big deal. Relax, take it. Deep breaths, Raphael.
We've had 2 seasons. Yeah, we've had 2 seasons of her terribleness in terms of character. She could be a very lovely person. I don't know, but in terms of character, and that kind of that pulls over to me. It's leveled out for me, like you said, John. This season, I'm tolerant of it, but the first 2 seasons, I'm like,
yeah. I agree with Langley. She's a great actress that deserves so much better. Same for Sunita Martin Green, frankly.
Michelle Yeoh.
Same for Michelle Yeoh.
Yes. Yeah.
And again,
see all the crap that came before. That's right.
Even that poor guy that played the legless Vulcan guy deserved better. Or the Romulan.
Is that the
kid
crook?
With the ears?
Oh, Legolas. Yes,
Legolas. Whatever his name was.
Legless.
Yeah,
I'm like, did I miss something?
I don't remember that. I don't remember the guy who had that
Pike again. Honestly, out of all 3 seasons, that guy had the worst arc. I mean, that poor kid, he got shafted.
And he'll be in Vegas every year signing autographs.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, have you met him yet, Wayne? I don't remember if I asked you that.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Nice guy. Good deal. Mike, I'm so glad you brought this up. Now that we know they have Kirk's body in storage, maybe we get some sort of adaptation of Shatner's books, or at least some sort of version of James Kirk returns. Absolutely, man. Yeah, the Borg grab him and put nanites in him and revive him, and then he's for about 5 or 6 books tooling around the 24th century with Picard and the Enterprise D.
What is this refit of the Enterprise Scott Bakula's ship? I keep seeing people chatting about that. Well, it was mentioned off camera and you never saw it, and then they're like, that's the
Doug Drexler, I believe. The plan was, if there was going to be a season 5, because they weren't sure,
right?
That was going to be part of the story, was that Enterprise went back to Earth and got refit and maybe increased their warp capability. I have no idea, but that is the design that was made. The show didn't get renewed, but at least we get to see the redesign now. Although it's mostly from a distance, right? Did we? Because they didn't give us a money shot of the NX Enterprise, did they?
No, I thought it was just far away. It looked like it was fatter in the middle. I was like, what's the difference? I don't know. So.
No, and again, I've seen in other review YouTube shows people having a big shot because, again, Drexler did it, so they exist. I don't know if they used it in the Star Trek Online game. No.
And then the other one was USS New Jersey, which I don't think was in any other show or movie. I never heard that one before.
Supposedly Metalis is from New Jersey, and that's why.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I didn't go back to the original Constitution class list that has been around forever. And I don't know if there might be a New Jersey. I have no idea.
I'm surprised the lower deck ship wasn't there. I was waiting to see it.
But why would they?
Cerritos?
Why wouldn't they just put in some rando ships that we've never seen or really heard of before in terms of talking about? Because the universe is bigger. There's all this other stuff going on. I love that they showed the Klingon bird of prey. I love that they showed all that other stuff. Why not show these randos as well?
Sure. It was good seeing the Kirk's second Enterprise. That was cool. I love the idea that the bird of prey with the cloaking device, the bounty, figured so much in. I thought that was fun.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Whales.
I agree with Mike Conrad, by the way. He's more about those Shatner
whales.
Books.
Yeah,
the Shatner books are great. Yeah, Judith and Gar Reeve-Stevens wrote on Enterprise, and they know their Trek. No, all of their books are terrific. So but yeah, I agree also with Langley, who says the New Jersey is great because it looks like the classic TOS design.
Right.
Great. Yeah, absolutely, man. No, it was great seeing all the ships. That was great. I liked Seven's little comment about Voyager. That was cool. All that stuff was fun, and I'm okay with it. Like I said, it was just a little nitpicks. And also the level of awareness with Section 31 still bothers me. And again, I guess it's 25 years or 30 years since the events of DS9, and likely because of the Dominion War and the way things were solved, maybe more public knowledge of Section 31, the fact that they gave the Dominion their degenerative disease, the fact that Julian got the cure from Section 31. So maybe that's why, it's more public knowledge within the fleet. But it devalues, I think, the specialness of Section 31 being much more of a black ops group that, I loved when Sisko's like, I can't get confirmation or denial of the existence of Section 31. It was much more cooler when it was mysterious. At least they don't have the black badges like Discovery.
Right.
Secret decoder rings. Hey, I'm an organization. I don't know if you knew that about me. Hey, great.
What do they got? 4 more episodes before this is over?
Yeah. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be
only 72 hours left.
That's right. 17.
That's right. The clock's running too.
Frontier
Because that's
48.
Frontier Day's coming up.
They said 72 in the thing, but I don't know.
And then later on, Picard and Riker said there's like 48 hours. We only have 48 hours.
Okay.
They can go back in time.
Slingshot around the moon. Yeah.
Around the sun, like the whales.
Yep.
Okay, I found that there was 12 Constitution class ships. The Constellation, the Defiant, the Enterprise, the Excalibur, the Exeter, the Hood, the Intrepid, the Lexington, and the Potemkin.
Oh, that's it. Wasn't the Farragut also a Constitution?
Farragut had this one engine, if I remember.
Dan, I agree with you, and we already talked about it, but Dan also hated the Moriarty tease.
Yeah.
It's
kind of a waste.
It's just, because again, it was a missed opportunity, and especially when Riker says, well, this isn't the Section Moriarty we know. Well, again, there was this possibility that, again, through data, there was a piece of Moriarty that this database had, and it just could have been a very interesting conversation.
Maybe somebody needed their SAG health insurance. I always hate that when I see older actors show up and then somebody goes, well, they kind of need their union card stuff to get more. I'm like, wait, what? They're like, true, it's a business.
I don't know.
I see a lot of these older guys popping up on the Hallmark channels. It's because I got to, keep working so I can get my benefit.
Hey, that's great, man. I'm thrilled that exists for them. Yeah. And they don't have to make shitty monster movies like all the classic old Hollywood people had to in the 70s and stuff.
And a bunch of those Hallmark movies are shot here in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
No, I knew that as well. I agree, Langley. The idea of a Section 31 show is really not a great idea. I agree with you, man. No, they should be like an ingredient in a bigger story. Not, hey, here we are. Black Ops.
Did they come out and say that the Section 31 show isn't happening, or?
I don't know what the status of it is. Again, Michelle Yeoh is just, enjoying her hardware that she's won recently, and it's like, I'm sorry, star what?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. That's like Ashley Judd essentially forgetting that she was in 2 episodes of Next Gen back in the day. And it's like, what?
Yeah, but
and I've heard other cast members say that about her. It's like, Ashley seems to have forgotten that.
But doesn't wouldn't she have a contract with CBS?
Michelle Yeoh?
Obliged?
I have no idea. I'm betting no.
Oh.
But I have no idea.
I did see the shooting schedule for Strange New Worlds was posted. It goes from May to September.
That it's airing in May?
No, they're filming their next season.
I thought they already started filming it.
End of May. No, it's at end of May to first week of September because
Well, then the assumption is we'll get. I do know that Prodigy. I talked to the Haberman brothers because I really want them on Word Balloon at some point.
Right.
And they said that Prodigy is coming back sometime in the summer, at the very least on Nickelodeon, if not on both. And obviously we'll have a new season of Lower Decks and Discovery. So, maybe it's going to be a while before Strange New Worlds. That's disappointing, though. I assumed that they were already shooting because we had those publicity photos of New Kirk with Khan's niece.
Oh, sing.
Yeah. Khan's grandniece.
No, okay, but
niece, hello, welcome. This is my young niece.
I got a Canadian question for Wayne. Wayne,
Yep.
Did they film that show in Toronto?
Yes, they do.
Okay, that's a little behind
was
the
on
scenes stuff. I'll tell you about later on. But
okay.
Jared, by the way, Mitch says that season 2 did wrap.
No, I know season 2. I'm talking about season 3. They're going to start.
Okay, well then that's different. Well, that's
yeah. Season 2 is done. That's coming out.
Yeah, but that's fine. Good, because again, I want to. I do anticipate season 2 of Strange New Worlds, and especially where things have left off with number 1 suddenly under arrest for being, genetically enhanced and everything. So no, there's interest, and also, Cybok might show up in season 2. We'll probably get more Jim Kirk as well. God, who did I see? And I'm like, they blew it. They should have cast the actor that's playing Jim Kirk in a different role, and I can't remember who it is now. But and again, the great thing I think about Picard season 3 has been when they give you a little tidbit of a member berry, it makes me go back and watch episodes or movies. And I was rewatching First Contact last night with that.
Well, you know what? I just got the Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray of Strange New Worlds, came out this week, my Steelbook, and I started rewatching it because I'm like, hell, I like this thing so much. I went out and bought the damn thing on disc, which I haven't done in years, and I started watching it, and I was like, why didn't they get the guy that's playing George Kirk just to shave the mustache off, and he could have came back on as Jim Kirk? Because remember, there was Shatner on the old show. I'm like,
right, Shatner with a mustache.
He might as well, because he's a lot more confident than that other guy that they got playing.
I want more. Well, you're right, but I also want more George Kirk. I don't like the fact that it was like, hey, look, George Kirk, and then
it was a fake out. Yeah.
He's a glorified cameo.
Yeah.
So,
and going back, it makes me like the Andorian guy even better. When I'm watching, I'm up to episode 4 already. The blind guy, the whatever his name is, Bruce Hovac, or
yes,
I can't think of the character's name, but he was such a good character.
Oh yeah, the Anar,
that's it.
That's his alien race with the splinter off of the Andorians, the blind Andorians. Is
correct.
Hammer guy.
Hammer, yeah, Hammer.
That's right, Hammer.
Hammer, don't hurt him. Hammer, don't hurt him.
Yeah, with an E, not with. Yeah, it's not Hammer, it's Hammer. But yes, it's awesome, and I already have designs on getting her on once she's up and running on Strange New Worlds.
Jess Bush?
No,
her birthday's today. I wished her happy birthday. Not that I'm stalking her.
Carol Kane is replacing Hammer as the engineer.
Right.
Carol Kane, Simca from Taxi.
Yep.
And if I've already said this on the show, forgive me, but a very good friend of mine in New York is very good friends with her. And I'm like, get me Carol Kane. She's like, oh, that's a slam dunk. No problem. And I'm like, great. I cannot wait to talk to, Commodore Simca.
Well, Captain Shaw is at GaryCon, which is a gamer show, because my buddy that I do a radio show with is at GaryCon, and he's been sending me pictures with them all weekend because he wrote a book or he did a game, and he's there when he doesn't look like Captain Shaw off screen, obviously, but he's got like a little hat on, a little beard, and he's getting down with his gaming buddies. I'm like, that's the guy. Yep. He's like, yeah, he's a normal dude. I'm like,
oh no, he's a big gamer,
guy. Yeah,
he's written video games. On that, well, if you remember that clip, I'm not going to replay it, but that clip from Rob Burnett's show, he really was given his whole dossier, and he pitched an idea for Suicide Squad to DC, and they went obviously with James Gunn's ideas instead. Yeah. But no, he did a Star Wars video game. And he absolutely is a, D&D 20 sided die gamer as well. Absolutely. Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, what else? I mean, I wonder, again, is it just an Easter egg that Section 31 has Kirk's body, or is something going to happen with it? No. It's kind of like Moriarty. It's like, we'll see, I guess.
We ain't get Shatner back at 92.
No, but that's the thing. It's like, all right, you showed us that. And I guess, again, that could be a plot point that somebody could pick up on in the future. They saved Hitler's brain. They saved Kirk's body. I don't know. We'll see. But I agree with you, Mitch. I do think that it's...
Wait a minute. Do you think they're going to work that positronic Picard thing to help his son out? Like he's going to transfer his son's
Probably.
He's going to give up his brain and put it in the kid.
Put
so
him to the
kid
old
doesn't have-
man body?
I don't know.
Yeah, no. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, maybe he'll give his brain up and he'll put it in the kid's body and make him.
Yeah, but you don't want to. Yeah, but you don't want to kill Jack as a character. I mean, that's.
You think
pretty
they're
cool.
going to go to the end of the season and wind up killing one of the major characters and wind up killing Picard or something?
They're
like
gonna
Again?
They're gonna pull
already killed him.
They're gonna pull a Tuvix, and they're gonna put them both in the transporter, and they're gonna merge into one person.
Spin him around.
Tuvix, my favorite Voyager concept. Tuvix.
Half Tuvok, half Neelix.
Exactly.
It's like a bad comedy show.
Yes. Oh my
10
god.
speed of brown shoe in space.
And I love Janeway. Like, yeah, I need my two people back. Yeah, fuck Tuvix. How about fuck Tuvix? All right. How about that? I'm sorry.
Good. I mean, you know what's so sad? You can't find anything to really bash on this show, so that we have nothing to really go off about.
Yeah,
I'm like, it was fine. What's the problem? It ended too short. It was only an hour long. It should have been 2 hours.
God, it's so funny. You know, Dan is watching us, and his two co-hosts on Seriously Star Trek, a fine show that's on YouTube every Tuesday afternoon. They are just hating hard. Larry Young and John Price, and I love those guys. They're very
Picard?
funny.
They hate Picard. This,
yeah.
Really?
I mean,
Really?
well, John qualifies as, listen, in general, of course, it's 10 times better, but his problems with the show outweigh the positives that he sees. And then Metalis blocked him on Twitter.
no
And
shit.
so now it's personal with John, and John's like, fuck that guy.
Why do they think it's lazy writing that he's putting all these old references in, all these fan service things?
I mean, John is such a fan of the ships,
Yeah,
and he hates all the new designs. I mean, he's just I tell him all the time, I'm like, I understand what you're saying. I don't agree. I'm fine with this.
yeah.
And Larry Young too. And again, they're hilarious.
No,
So I don't mind watching them. But yeah, and they are watching, at least, as opposed to those who are like, I'm not going to watch it because that supports Alex Kurtzman, and I'm not going to give him my eyeballs to ensure that he'll be able to continue to make lousy Trek. And it's like,
no.
out of your hands, pal. I don't know how to break
No.
it.
Somebody at the comic shop, somebody said, look, they did what they should have done with the Star Wars movies. All people want to see are all those characters one more time back together. Even though they're 70 and 80, 90 years old, you just wanted that nostalgia buzz where they fucked it up in Star Wars by killing off Han and killing off, well, Carrie Fisher died, but all you wanted was one scene with all three of them or Lando in one room.
Yeah.
Never going to get that, kids. We fucked that up. Sorry.
I like the Weezus observation. Why do I have a feeling Picard will die for good this time? Or they will pull the Batman Dark Knight Rises ending and have Picard with that Romulan at some cafe somewhere.
Verno Branca.
Laris, Hazel.
He'll blow himself up and they'll say, oh, somebody fixed the ship.
I have a feeling that that's where they're going with this, and he's going to be, either donating his body to science or his son, or just be offed altogether. I think. Well,
I think that's why Patrick Stewart was willing to sign up anyway. Yeah. Was the idea of a finite thing? Although in New York, promoting this show, where we could continue to do things. So who knows? Who knows?
He could
be always back up a truck.
I'm just worried about him from a honestly physical and mental standpoint, because the guy is showing his age really.
Oh yeah, his delivery is very slow.
Yes.
I mean, even when he's sitting down talking, I go,
yeah,
it's kind of labored, isn't it?
No, keep him going. Make him keep doing these.
But
put him on oxygen. Wheel him in.
Hey man, no, you can't have him sitting down. That's fine. And thank God they're doing that this season. Go back to the first season where
they were throwing him against a wall with explosion.
Right, he had Soji running upstairs, and he's like winded, or even the walking that he had to do in season 2, and it's like, hey, Grandpa's getting old, man. Like it's okay. Give him one of those Captain Pike chairs. Come on, man.
No. He needs one of those Professor X chairs.
Beep. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hello, Logan. Yes.
Hello.
That's so funny. But yeah, and I agree with Langley. He's like, I think they enjoy doing this too much.
Yeah. Riker's having a good time. Boy, was he like the baddest ass you've ever seen him when he was getting beat up like fucking James Bond? I thought they were going to start banging him in the balls like fucking Lashif did. Like, how do you like this? And go ahead, that's the best you got.
Yeah, he's
having a great time.
No, he said in the first episode he misses being in action. Yeah. And that's great for his character, and I love all that. and we'll see. It'll be very interesting to see what happens with now Deanna suddenly being there.
Well,
And
when you do
Oh,
your
we'll
panel with them,
see.
when you do your panel with them this July 28th to the 30th at the Terrificon in Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, ask for it by name. You can ask them.
I will.
Did you want yourself to get smacked in the balls like James Bond did in Casino Royale? Let's see what he says.
Weeze asks, can this possibly be the oldest cast of any series? Weeze, again, as someone that is anti-ageism, great. Great, because again, the thing they don't understand, this is something that John Price was complaining about, that the action that they have these actors doing is so ridiculous given their real age or even their fictional age. Picard is in his 90s on the show. And it's like, we don't care. We're going to prove that this summer when we see 80-year-old Indiana Jones running around. We don't care. We want the original people.
Yes.
I really have to like kind of expound on. I'm loving this season, and I'm loving the way that they're bringing all of our favorite characters back. They haven't just like, oh hey, we just need the gang back together. Let's go round them up type thing. They're coming in episode by episode. Nah, I'm really loving the whole thing.
Yep,
I agree.
like the Magnificent
This
Seven.
is so not Orville. I'm loving it.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I think, and again, they're giving them good reasons when they introduce them, where they are now, and everything.
They're pacing out, bringing the band back together. Great, like it's not in your face all at once.
I loved Shaw gushing over Geordi.
Yeah,
that was fantastic. Hello, sir. How are you? I'm an engineer as well.
Yeah. I love that he doesn't give a shit about Picard or Riker, but
he's
blown his load over Geordi. I love that.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. Although again, it's like they forgot that Geordi was a pilot before he was chief engineer.
Right.
And it does kind of annoy me that it's all about Geordi engineer. And it's like, hey, Sidney is following in his steps as well because, he was a pilot. And I love what she said to him about, hey, this drove us apart. No, it meant to be closer together. I cracked up those ships so that we could rebuild them together. And that was
the only person who hasn't shown up yet, and I don't think he's going to, is Will Wheaton.
Wesley?
I don't think Will Wheaton's going to show up either. Maybe. We'll see. But I really don't think so.
What about Denise Crosby?
She did.
Well, honestly, Mitch, I was expecting that prior to the season starting and assumed it was going to be a Sela story. The Romulan daughter of Tashiar. But I guess
when they started doing that temporal thing with the Enterprise, when they had that like thing in the cloud, I thought the fucking Enterprise C was going to show up. I go, wait, what happened? And
even the Shrike looks like a Romulan ship. Looks like the Romulan ships of the JJ movies. The Nero ship and
yeah.
So I and maybe I misheard, and I don't want to even go back and find out. I want to be surprised, but I do think there's a possibility we may see other former cast members show up in these last 4 episodies. We'll see.
Wow.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean,
wait a minute. That J.J. Abrams thing, is that in this timeline? So our Spock left our thing that we're watching and went into the other thing. That's legit.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Romulus blew up.
Yeah.
It
did? Well, yeah, because again, that's why Picard had the big rescue.
Oh, that's right.
That's why the Federation didn't want to get involved.
There was some shit from season 1 that you had to pick up. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So,
hey, wait a minute. Maybe the changelings caused the droid rebellion because they were trying to hack into the AI shit or something. Because they never explained that really.
That would be a great way. And as I think Langley said earlier, I think Metalis is trying to make sense of certain
tie it all up
of the first season, clearly. And maybe that would. I assumed with the portal weapon that those tentacles we saw at the end of season 1 was going to play some sort of role in it. But given that it's the changelings, I could see a couple more Deep Space Nine appearances. And
Quark would be cool.
It'd be great to see Quark. It'd be great to see O'Brien. It'd be great to see Bashir. Why Julian?
What if he's the head of Section 31 now?
Julian?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know. Well, I don't want it to go that far, but what I do want it to go to is if the cure to the Dominion, kind of like the Borg with Hugh, when they sent Hugh back to the Borg and it fucked up the Borg and everything in that 2-parter. If the cure did fuck up these changelings in some way, it would be great to see Bashir come back.
That's a good idea.
You know,
yeah.
I don't know. Langley. The dumb Romulan incest cult supposedly.
I was just thinking about them. When are they going to show up? That freaking crazy Vulcan chicks that were blowing their heads off and stuff. That made no sense either.
The Jacques.
Who are they?
Well, they're even more scary than the Tal Shiar. Okay.
That was so weird. That whole scene.
I know.
What did they look into? Remember they looked into something, they went insane? What was that, Pure Logic or some? I don't even know what the hell happened. They were standing around and they looked in and one lady went nuts and grabbed a phaser and blew her brains out.
They looked into the dial of destiny.
Yeah, the coffee. I was going to say the coffee. It's the coffee table from hell. Yeah, no.
It's literally like you got people that never watched the Star Trek. Like that guy that wrote in earlier tonight. They told him to write a Star Trek show. He's like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Langley's right. They ripped off Mass Effect.
Oh, is that from that
game?
I don't know that thing. So. Is it?
Oh, yeah, it is. From the portal guns from Mass Effect.
Oh, the portal guns. Oh, okay.
Bashir in Charge of 31 was a plot point in the DS9 reunion movie pitch from the documentary.
Oh, that's
God, I really wish IDW would take that writer session and make a miniseries of it, like it makes season 8 of DS9.
I bought a new Star Trek comic this week that they were all on the cover. I didn't read it yet. Just reminded me that.
Was it Defiant? Was it the Worf comic?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I just picked
Chris
up
Cantwell.
one. Yeah,
Chris Cantwell's book. It just started.
Right.
And so if you've got it handy,
it's somewhere around this dump.
Because and if you don't, I know like the surprises of the crew. But essentially the story started in Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly's Star Trek IDW book that's like 5 or 6 issues in. That's where Worf's story started. But it's spun off now to Worf's own book, Star Trek Defiant. And I'll say it while you're looking, Mitch.
No, all right, go ahead.
It's Lore is in this group. Ambassador Spock is he in no, he is in that one. He's in Worf's book. So I know those are like 2 key members, and I think Ro is as well.
Wow.
But you'll be able to tell me from the cover though.
I don't know.
Oh, here, hold on. All right, Wayne's got it. Stand by. Everybody.
Oh, Wayne's got it. There you go. Yeah.
Well, that's one, but
no, that's not the cover I got. Mine have all like
shows the crew
portrait. Yeah.
But
I got shit everywhere in here.
Well, Langley says, I'm hoping this convinces Paramount. Stand by. Yes, there it is. Hang on.
Yeah, that's the cover I got. Yep.
So, we got Ro, we got Ambassador Spock, and we got Lore. Yep. There you go.
Yep.
No, and again, like Jackson and Colin are massive Star Trek fans and have proved it already at IDW. Chris Cantwell, huge Star Trek fan. Every time I talk to him on Word Balloon, he is surrounded by Star Trek Migos and the other action figures. And he's absolutely like, oh no, I'm rewatching the show with my sons and everything. It's like great. And no, he is so like the right guy for another Star Trek comic. And I just heard Heather Antos, the editor, on Inglorious Treksperts, and they've got a big Klingon event coming this summer. And blood is in the title. I can't remember the name. It's maybe somebody in the chat remembers.
Blood, all the blood wine you can drink. It's Beefsteak Charlie in space. Beer, wine, and blood wine. No, yeah,
I don't know.
You didn't have Beefsteak Charlie out in Chicago.
It's Star Trek Sour Mead, and it's a bunch of mixology recipes that you can make with Chateau Picard. It makes a fantastic sangria.
What else did they do this week? They did a lot of stuff. I mean, every time they showed that camera, there was another Star Trek.
I want more, and I think we're going to get it next with episode 7. I want more information regarding Vatic and this group of changelings and what they represent.
Is it Day of Blood?
Yes, it is Day of Blood. Thank you, buddy. You got it. But yeah, I want more information of why these changelings splintered off. What's going on?
Well, here's a question for you.
Go ahead.
If Riker had to use the Pop Goes the Weasel whistle to deactivate the hologram to get into the Daystrom Institute, are we to assume that Data knows shit's going down, so he was trying to get them to come and rescue him so it's all said and done? So this might have been going on. again, now this is making sense. Maybe it did have to do with the Synth Rebellion, and that's why they shut everything down, because maybe they were trying to infiltrate it back then, and then Data fucked it up and locked everybody out or something. I don't know. Well, then why would he have killed himself at the end of that season if he knew something bad was happening? Bad writing.
But that's almost like, think of Data as like Microsoft Word.
Yeah.
And there's a version of that was on the synth planet that wants to die. And then this version that is now the database for Section 31 is a different copy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that version back there was a little paperclip version that would show up on your
it was
desktop.
that Bob guy.
Badgie, like in Lower Decks, Badgie.
Badgie, yes.
That's so funny. All right, and yeah, Langley, again, I totally hear you. This is another nitpick. How does 71-year-old Riker remember that song from the
man.
Well, because
Mitch,
hold on, Mitch. The reason why that's a fair question is at the end of First Contact, at the end of Nemesis, when Data dies, and they're all talking about Data after he dies, he's like, he couldn't whistle a song. I couldn't remember it. And now, 20 years later, oh yeah, that's.
You know why? Because he's using Centrum to help you with your memory. I see the commercials all the time. Like, I'm losing my mind, but thanks to this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I can remember things like
I'm remembering shit I forgot about years ago.
Sure.
It's happening.
He remembers how to make pizza now. He's doing well.
That's right.
I realize the problem for me is with the new characters for seasons 1 and 2, they are Expanse Farscape characters jammed in a Trek. Sure. Yeah. No, you're right, Mike. I agree with you, man. I think there's a lot of secondhand sci-fi writing or attempts at sci-fi writing by the writers that they've assembled for the new episodes. Thankfully, Metalis seems to have assembled a group that understands and respects Star Trek canon and knows how to color within the lines, metaphorically.
I wish you could see the ratings on this sucker and tell me if it's been higher than the previous 2 seasons. I know there's no way to tell. So
yeah, but it's again. Let's see what they do after this. I hope Metalis is asked to come back and do another show, or if not Metalis specifically, they take his lead because just the mere fact that chatter about this stuff is so much more interesting and elevated compared to the Discovery chatter or seasons 1 and 2 of Picard. It was all just, I love this. I think this is great. And there's no discussion of what's going on. And this, it's like, well, maybe the Changelings are trying to do this. Why do they want Picard's body? Yeah. And there are at least interesting debates about the characters and the story. And we weren't getting that before. And I hope to God that somebody in Paramount's thing is like, well, look at the fact that they're all talking about this. They know the numbers. They know, and I'm assuming
well,
even Geordi knows it because he's filing all those memos saying we should not have all our ships in the one area. He's all upset about that, and he's right.
No, it could be like Star Wars.
But the landscape has changed. We've had this discussion before, but nowadays it's all word of mouth. Remember how back in the old days it was all word of mouth if you saw a show and missed it or whatever. Now it's all word of mouth online. Like, I'd be surprised if the ratings weren't higher now because of all the chatter that's been happening.
Right.
But it also goes the other way. Like, people are really trashing Discovery. Most people, me mostly, but
it's the Orville of Star Trek.
Right.
No, that's an insult to the Orville, frankly. Yeah. Which is better, Francis? Discovery or Orville?
I was going to say, do you think it's just like a
Hold on, let him answer. Hold on, don't you dare let him. I demand an answer from Francis. Which is better?
That's a tough one, man.
Oh, really?
All right, go ahead, man. Sorry, man.
You know why Discovery's a little better than Orville? Because Captain Pike was on the the Discovery show.
I did love that season.
I had to go back.
Not love the season, loved Pike.
Pike. If I was going to buy one season of Discovery, it would only be that season that Pike was on it, and that's the only one I'd watch.
Character, and I'll even give them that when they went back to Talos 4, that at least was interesting.
Yes,
although again, just there's a million nitpicks about that.
Oh God, yeah. But I was going to say, and looking back at the time frame. Disney does the new Star Wars movies. They don't do well. Well, they do well financially, I guess, but people don't like it. They do a redirect with the Mandalorian. Everybody's happy again. They got what they want. Same time frame about there, they come back with Discovery. They try new Star Trek stuff. Everybody hates it, and then they go, "Oh shit, give them what they want." And then they go back and give them Strange New Worlds, and then they give them Picard. So they kind of go, "Well, we tried something, it didn't work like we thought, and people were mad. So we'll just give them what they want, and that makes everybody happy."
That's exactly what I was saying. I mean, Pike in Discovery had such an overwhelming positive reaction that we got Strange New Worlds out of it. I'm almost convinced of that. They didn't have Strange New Worlds queued up of like, oh, this is what we're going to do next and spin it off. Yeah, the reaction was just so good. Like, that's the Star Trek we want. Not this other crap that's happening in the regular storyline. The Pike stuff is awesome. Let's do that.
I agree.
No, but what does that say about fandom in general? That you can't do new stuff because people don't want it? They want the old stuff. They want Indiana Jones. They want them fighting Nazis. They don't want crystal skulls. They want Nazis.
No, you know what they want? You know what I want? Is good shit. Discovery was not good shit. Pike on Discovery was good. That's what made me stand up and pay attention to it.
Is it the actor though? Because it's the same writers.
Well, partially the actor, but Mitch, if I may, the structure of Star Trek was established long before New Trek came about, and they decided to change the structure of Star Trek. And they hired writers that, as someone earlier said in the chat, only knew surface knowledge. Here it is. Langley said it. 80% of New Trek feels like it was written by people that know Trek through pop culture. Oh, beam me up, Scotty. Phasers on stun, whatever. And it's true. They have a very surface knowledge of Star Trek. Now we have complained, and what we want is, and I think Metalis is doing it, a balance of the familiar with new ideas and deeper characterization. And the mere fact that we are focused on several characters rather than the Michael Burnham show. And the Michael Burnham show, again, we've said it a million times, to not know the names of the bridge crew. And I'm not saying that we know all the names of this bridge crew. I do know Murrow is the Asian guy. I do know, Sidney LaForge is sitting there. And, so at least we know a couple of the bridge crew of Shaw's ship.
His name is Shaw.
I have no problem with breaking the norm or doing something different. Take a look at Picard season 1 and 2, and why do we dislike it so much? And why do we like this season so much? It's a combination of the actors and the writing. Well, not that we're used to the actors, is that the actors were good.
Yeah,
they're good, and we had so many issues with the other actors in season 1 and 2 that it just didn't feel right. It didn't come across as Star Trek. This is different in terms of norms of storytelling for next generation. But it's good storytelling, and that's the difference.
Here's the litmus that my wife, when I used to complain about the Star Wars stuff, she goes, "If the word Star Wars weren't before the title, would you watch this show?" I go, "Oh God, no." She goes, "Would you watch those movies?" No. If there wasn't called Star Trek Discovery and just Discovery, I would have never watched it. But the fact they slapped the Star Trek logo on it, I go, well, I gotta watch it because I'm a fan of the other stuff, and that's why I was like, I would never have sat through that shit.
But I have to say, in fairness, maybe I would have watched it if it was just a generic ship in space sci-fi show.
Well,
maybe.
Just like the Ark.
Because which I'm loving, and I'm caught up as well, Wayne.
I'm a couple episodes behind, but yes.
I won't spoil it all, but the conspiracy just keeps getting deeper and more interesting, and I am really impressed with this low-budget sci-fi show. That despite its low budget, it's excellent writing and excellent acting.
Exactly. I was going to say, why do you like it? Because the actors are good. I don't know any of these people from Adam. I've never seen any one of them before. No. The acting is good, directing is good, and the writing is good. If you have that in combination, I'll watch the show because, my God, look at Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
I loved that show.
Yeah.
Had no idea who the hell any of these people were except for a hand, like
Mary McDonald and Edward James Olmos. Yeah.
Exactly. Those two were maybe kind of the linchpin or the hook to get you to watch the show. But damn, was that show good.
Aaron Douglas was so great as the chief, and Michael Hogan so great as Commander Ty. Oh my God.
It all comes down, if you tell a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the horror movies that I watch that are not even B. But
Right.
they'll tell you if you have
Yeah.
a good story,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Well,
You'll look
that's
past
crazy talk.
the ketchup on the shirt.
Blumhouse is doing it. They're making
Yeah.
these $10 million movies that are making $200 million. And no, it's you don't need them, and especially with Star Trek, you don't need hundreds of millions to make good Star Trek. And that's the other shame is the amount of money they pissed away on
Discovery. Oh God, yeah.
And it's a shame. It really is a shame. And all they
Yeah.
did was create bad feelings between Paramount and Netflix and Amazon and Paramount and all these other, channels that were like, oh, we'll take a chance. And they fucked them with shitty programming. And again, you're right. It's like Star Wars, where you kind of fucked up, but thankfully now you're righting the ship a little bit, and there's current product that actually is better.
Well, I think they just it's a combination of greed and laziness. It's like, well, they already have this established property. We don't have to think too much about it, and we can make a shit ton more of them because we have like Marvel was doing a ton of that stuff, and now it's starting to show like some of the movies aren't as good as the earlier ones because it's too much. Now they're like, you got to pull back. You can't give them a new movie 4 movies a year.
I don't agree with that because just like in comic books, there's good storylines and bad storylines within the same line. So like if you have Justice League, there's the Tower of Babel, and then there's the shitty storylines when other writers and artists come on. So I can't fault that, but
I don't know what's going on. I told you we saw Shazam 2, Ordway and I, and it actually I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I liked it better than the first one, and I didn't like the first one much, but I thought it was well done. But the poor movie was killed before it could get out the door. We walked out of the theater. I know it's a different story, but Ordway's like, well, don't ruin the ending. We won't spoil it on our review. I said, okay, I got you, because there's a cameo by a certain character. We're in the pizza restaurant 20 minutes after the movie. There's an ad for it on ESPN, and there's the end of the movie. And I hit Jerry, go, why should we worry about ruining it? Warner Brothers just ruined it. I can't believe it.
Don't tell me because I haven't seen that.
No, but it was insane. I was like, I can't believe it.
I have a friend of mine who's kind of like on the outskirts of things. He likes the pop culture stuff. He likes the movies and stuff like that. I went to dinner with him last night, and he goes, so there's a new Shazam movie? He goes, I just found out about it today. He goes, a friend of mine went to go see Shazam with his kid. And I'm like, wait, you went to the theater to go see the Shazam movie? Like, he thought he was talking about the old one. He had no idea that the new one was out. There's no word on this thing whatsoever out there because I guess whatever they're doing with the change of regime.
With James Gunn,
It reminds me sank this thing before it got out of the dock.
The movie was fun. I liked it.
It reminds me when the Ed Norton. It reminds me when the Ed Norton Hulk movie came out. And Marvel's like, well, we made it. Good luck. And I was asking off the record, guys like Casada and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? He goes, well, things broke down. It is what it is. We're moving in a different direction with the Hulk. And, that was before Mark Ruffalo was going to be the next Hulk and everything. But it was like, okay. And obviously, that's the thing. These movies exist and Gunn has this new plan.
Yeah,
they're not going to eat more multi-millions like they did with the Batgirl movie. They're going to put these movies out there this year and next year, and then we'll see from there. Obviously,
well, I couldn't believe Zach Levy was like on fucking social media explaining what happened and how the movie he tried. And I sent to Ordway. I go, this guy's not holding back. What's he got to lose? He's not going to make a number 3. He's explaining what happened. He had his best intentions, and the fucking thing bombed. It's not his fault. They really wanted to do better stories for the fans, but Warner Brothers is like, no, you're not doing that. We're moving this way. Sorry. See ya. Take your check. Get out of here.
Mike says DC is Dead Man Walking until Superman Legacy, and I don't mean Boston Brand.
I agree.
Well, I'd slightly disagree because I do think Matt Reeves' plans with Batman. I do think the Joker movie.
But those are the Elseworld.
I understand, but they're not really part of James's plan.
No,
and they are going to come out, and I think they will still attract decent size.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, so, they're not going to throw away that Joker sequel for Christ's sakes. They got $1 billion.
They've already shown pictures of Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
it's pronounced Lady Gaga.
Gaga,
and I believe it's Harley Quinn, not Harley.
Hurley.
But
Harley Quinn.
She's the fat guy from Lost Sister, Harley Quinn. I don't know. I'm for it. We'll see. Oh, that's interesting. Langley says Bob Chapek hurt the MCU by forcing so much so soon on Disney Plus. I hear you. I don't know. Yeah, and we'll see we'll see how the Flash movie performs.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that movie. You know what I'm excited for is next week, C2E2. I can't wait till all the people come up to me and tell me how wrong I am about everything I've said on this program over the last few weeks.
No, that's going to be great. Yes, and because of that, it might be 10 days before our next Trek watch, because we are going to be busy next weekend with the show. Franco and I will be. So if Wayne and Mitch on their own want to come on and do something, I guess they can. But yeah, we'll see. So we're going to be a little late.
Yeah, I'll be in MegaCon while you're at
episode 7.
Mitch will come on and
I'll be at the beach shooting clams with Wojo.
with Nick Yamana.
Yeah,
hopped up on his hash brownies. Yes,
hear it.
My favorite Barney Miller episode. Absolutely.
Did you watch the latest episode of Mandalorian?
Yes.
I am so behind.
It is like so, but John, it's like half hour. It is a short one.
It's like a bunch of Mandalorian cosplayers. It's like being at my show. I see all these people in those outfits. One thing, I'm not spoiling anything for John, but on the show he can't take his mask off.
Yes.
Don't ever go to a Mandalorian dinner party because they all have to sit in different rooms so they can take their mask off and eat. My first question was, how do they bang each other?
They keep the mask on. Everything else can come off.
I was going to say, you could be a 0 or a 10. It don't make a difference in the Mandalorian baby making.
Hey, baby, take off that Beskar, but leave
I was talking to my friend about that. I go, well, how are the babies made? He goes, well, the babies aren't born wearing a mask. I go, well, I know that part.
Well, that's the John Cocker said that song. You can leave your mask on.
That's right, Joe Cocker.
No, that's John Cocker.
I imagine when they're having sex that they
9.5 weeks
on each other.
You just hear that clanging going on.
Yeah, a lot of noise going on when they're trying to have sex. Absolutely.
Hey, what's going on back there? Oh, Mando and
Mando and Mando.
This is the way.
There's no oral sex in that world.
That's right. Mandos don't believe in oral sex. That can't happen.
They do not.
You're killing me. You're killing me, man. That's fantastic. And I'm way behind that Bad Batch, and I'm hearing good things about.
Oh, Bad Batch is great.
I gotta get the last episode.
That's awesome.
No, you gotta watch Mandalorian because last week was such a weird.
I will.
It was so it was dark, man. It was like this woman was like an evil agent, and she fucked some guy over, and they fucking gave him a lobotomy. I think I don't know what happened.
Even better, the Mandalorians referring to rebels.
Yes.
Oh,
There's
cool.
a rebel callback.
Fun.
Like it was just like, and when you're watching, you're going, "Oh my god, that's from Rebels."
Yeah.
That's funny. Language says Mando oral gives you freezer burn. All right.
Ooh.
So funny. And
I like how none of the actors are on that show. There's no Pedro Pascal. None of them there. They're just reading their lines in a trailer somewhere. And
I don't mind.
It's all stuntmen doing the show.
I don't mind. I think that's great. It's the same thing with Brendan Fraser on Doom Patrol. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
And Matt Browner from Doom Patrol playing Larry.
Speaking of Mando, I just recently saw The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yes, Nick Cage.
Amazing.
Right?
You got to watch that movie if you haven't seen it.
Crazy.
All right.
Nick Cage has got a new movie out about Renfield. I saw the billboard in New York City when I was coming home. I guess it's on Netflix. I don't know where it's going.
It's going to be in theaters, and it's the guy.
Oh, it's a movie? Really?
Yeah, it's the guy that played Hank McCoy in the X-Men movies. He's Renfield.
But it's mostly about him. It's mostly about Renfield.
Oh,
so Nicolas Cage plays Dracula in
like a supporting player.
Funny.
And Nicolas Cage also has a Western out. I don't know why, but it was there. And I was like, what is he doing? A movie?
You know what it is? He pays his bills, man. He pays his bills. He was in massive debt. He got out of it by making all these schlock movies.
Yeah, he's a working actor, man.
He's like Michael Caine. Something's got to hit,
His horror movies are really good.
What horror movies?
Mandy. Willy's Wonderland.
Who is this? Nicolas Cage?
Nicolas Cage.
Pig.
He's made a shitload of like.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And they're good. They're really good.
I saw Cocaine Bear too, so that's.
Oh, how was that?
That's gross.
I loved it. It was funny.
Yeah. My son and I were like hysterical, and we came up afterwards. My wife was like, "What were you guys laughing at?" I'm like, "Cocaine Bear." She goes, "Isn't that kind of like a horror type movie?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was funny."
It's like Sharknado.
That's
The
hilarious.
bear
I'm waiting
snorting
for the
cork up
inevitable
the guy-
sequel
like,
called
up the
Meth
guy's leg
Gator.
is hilarious.
Meth Gator. Yeah.
Meth Gator is going to be the next.
I want to see Acid Ostrich. That's the good one.
Mm-hmm.
Who's staying out of jail, John?
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Oh, is he? Oh.
And Michael Cage has not watched Jaws: The Revenge, but apparently had a very nice
Yep.
sound out of it.
Yep.
I remember said, I did that as a favor to Sid Sheinberg.
Yeah.
Because Sid Sheinberg's wife
yeah.
Is Lorraine, whatever
That's
her name is, who was, Brody's wife, Brody's
Lorraine
wife.
Gray.
Yeah, Lorraine Gray. Thank you, buddy. That's why they made it, because it's like her husband was the head of Universal, and it's like, my wife needs a movie. Michael, will you co-host? Will you co-star with it? All right. So that's so funny. What else? Franco bought the first. Actually, I think he has all three now. The Star Trek novels, Coda.
Oh, I do. I have them
did?
somewhere.
You bought books?
I just purchased them. Hold on, I got to go behind the green screen.
I do hope you'll give us a full report. By the way, nice whale picture,
Whales.
Francis.
Whales.
There be whales here.
Oh, you know what I watched? Came back. Perry Mason. That's good.
I haven't watched that yet.
There they are. Star Trek
look at
Coda.
you.
All three of them.
So I went to Barnes and Noble to go sign my own book, and then they were having 50% off. So I bought my own book, and then I bought this because it was 50% off. And then I
think it is.
Johnny told me that there's two others. So then I went on and I purchased the other two as well.
It's going to take you a while to read those.
I was going to say there is probably not a very clear timeline on when these will get done and read, but sometime hopefully after June is when I will start, because I'll have a little bit more time on my hands.
You have the schooling to do for a couple more months.
Yep. I have a countdown clock on my phone. So it is I'm at 87 days.
My cop buddies do that. They're about to retire. They literally have a thing on their phones. 12 hours, 30 minutes. I'm like, you can't wait. They can't wait.
No, I get it. I so get it. And
I know 88 days, and it is listed as Franco Freedom Day on my phone. So there you go.
Better watch out. Something might explode.
Langley agrees with you, Mitch, that Perry Mason is great, and it doesn't surprise me. It's a great concept. Yes.
It is. There's so many shows on now. So many shows.
I want to watch the new Kiefer Sutherland.
Is that on already?
It dropped today. First episode dropped today. And also, I can't remember the name of it on Netflix. Gigantic Jeff and I were talking about it today. There's a new kind of espionage conspiracy show. I forget the name of it, but the trailer looked good, and he said, "Oh my god, it's fantastic." There's a lot of great stuff.
Have you guys seen Ted Lasso is back? First of all,
yes, that was cool.
I love Ted Lasso.
What's that one? I finished the Harrison Ford comedy show too.
I was going to say my wife is raving about Shrinking.
Yes, he's really funny, and it's a shame he's 80 years old now. It's like, why didn't you do this years ago? You should have done some comedies years ago.
He's doing it now.
Night Agent is the Netflix show I was trying to think of. Thank you, Langley.
I have to watch Luther on Netflix.
Very good. Good movie.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. I didn't watch it yet.
Idris Elba could come on the screen and fart for 2 hours, and I'll be entertained. I love Idris Elba. He's amazing.
What about
like a personal problem?
What about Swarm? I've heard about this Swarm on Showtime or something like that with Christina Ricci.
Yellow Jackets
documentary on Amazon.
Not Swarm. Yeah,
I watched that.
Oh, Yellow Jackets, sure.
Yeah,
season 2. Yeah, season 2 of Yellow Jackets, absolutely. Yep.
A lot to catch up with Franco.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you, soon, Wayne, soon.
We can wrap, boyos.
I'm playing with my dead man.
Yeah.
Why don't they make a movie about Dead Man, for Christ's sakes, or a
TV
show? Look at that.
No, it'd be great.
He was in
what?
Justice League Dark
Injustice.
Oh, is he in the Injustice
game?
Yeah.
What happened was no, not in the game, but in the movie.
Dick
Grayson. When Dick Grayson passes on, he becomes the Dead Man.
That makes sense.
Wow. There's also a new comic out called Dead Man Tells the Spooky Tales.
I've heard of that. It's by some guy named Franco.
Yeah, he's from Europe. That guy.
There's an accent over the A.
It is, yeah. It's an umlaut. You got to look for it.
I will have
my name, kids. Yeah.
I will have some artworks and some books and stuff at C2E2. So
yes, go to Artist Alley Row Z,
yes,
which ironically is
Rosie?
the first row that you will see when you're entering and going to Artist Alley. So it's very deceptive that it's Row Z, but actually it's the first row you encounter. And you'll find Art and Franco and Scoot and Dave Scheit and all these other Alejandro Rosado, all these great guys that are part of the crew selling their wares. I don't have a table, but I'll be wandering, and usually I'll be standing by those boys.
Is Scoot there?
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
No, it's going to be great. And then, of course, a couple months later, we'll all be at Terrificon.
Terrificon.
And
Right
that's
after C2E2, after San Diego.
Yeah.
But before Star Trek.
Oh, before
Right.
Vegas. Yeah.
And I'm
That's
working on
amazing,
something.
Mitch, that you got all those people, given that it's right before Vegas.
And if this week works out well, I'll have big news next time about a certain Star Trek person.
What are you talking about? Oh, I was going
my.
to say you already announced me. So
No, I know. That's why I was asking Wayne about things.
Well, now I'm going to want to hear about this off the air, so that's a good excuse for us to wrap up and say thanks for watching. We'll be back with episode 8, or 7, rather, 7. But it'll probably be after this coming weekend. So please be patient, but we'll be back, and we'll talk more about Star Trek and more on this show. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.